So welcome to the webinar session for how to prepare for a AWS cloud interview. Like if you're planning to get yourself a career in cloud computing, especially the AWS platform or things like that, in this webinar, I'll just tell you how we have to prepare for that and what all things we have to keep in mind while searching for job opportunities. And then we will basically go through the various sample job roles and I'll tell you how to prepare for these kind of job roles and all. That's a whole thing. So just to give an introduction about my profile, my name is Krish. I'll be your complete instructor for this program. And this is the agenda for our webinar. So as we discuss, we'll first of all discuss the prerequisites, like before you start with the cloud platform, what all things you have to keep in mind. Then as we discuss various job roles in AWS cloud platform, what all kind of questions you can expect and how to update yourself for various challenges in the cloud computing and the upcoming technologies as a part of it. And we can have a discussion on this. Okay, that's it. First of all, we will discuss about the prerequisites of going to the cloud platform. So this question is something which most people ask me. Like before when I go for a cloud interview, or basically when I'm planning for a cloud job role, what all things I have to learn additionally? Or let's say, for example, if I'm planning to start learning cloud computing, or if I'm planning to get a job in cloud computing, what all things I have to get the knowledge initially. So these are the key main things I want you to understand. So basically what happens is when you go for any kind of job roles, like for example, let's say if you go for a cloud architect, cloud security specialist, cloud DevOps engineer, cloud monitoring expert. So whatever things you're going for, if you're going for a cloud job role, these technologies or these skill sets are actually mandatory. And I'll tell you in what level we have to understand this. So team, initially what we have to understand is when we go for a job role in cloud computing, okay, when we go for a job role in cloud computing, the first skill that we have to know is about the operating systems and the virtualization. So I'll come to operating system, but before that, why we need to have a virtualization skill set? That's a very important thing we have to understand. So why? Because let's say, for example, you are going to cloud job role. Understand that the whole cloud computing platforms, whether you go for AWS or Azure or Google or any kind of cloud platform, either public cloud or private cloud, whatever it is, if you go for a cloud computing platform, it is basically completely relying on the virtualization. That's a key point we have to understand. When you go for any kind of cloud computing job roles, the key thing, the primary thing which we have to keep in mind is that they are completely relying on the virtualization. So even if you go for AWS also, they are having a completely virtualized infrastructure. If you go for Azure also, they are having a completely virtualized infrastructure. So there comes a question. Do we have to actually get an in-depth knowledge on this? Do we have to learn the complete VMware ESXi? Do we have to learn the complete Hyper-V? Do we have to learn the complete SAN hypervisor? No, we have to just understand the virtualization fundamentals. Like for example, what is a hypervisor, how it works, and what is the kind of network we are having. Like for example, let's say when we have multiple VMs or multiple virtual machines in a system, how these virtual machines are connected together, how the communication happen in between backend, what are the security issues. So the basic virtualization concepts must be understood. It's a mandatory thing. Whether you go for any kind of cloud platform, whether you go for any kind of cloud server deployment model also, we have to know the virtualization fundamentals. That is actually mandatory. So other than this virtualization fundamentals, you have to know some operating system. So there comes the main question. So do we have to learn that thing in depth? Like if you want to go to a cloud computing journey, do I have to master this Windows or Linux things and all? Not at all. But still, the basic operating system things, like for example, let's say you must be familiar with the basic Linux commands. These are all not mandatory, but it's better if you can have a basic understanding of the common Linux commands and everything. Just if you have an idea about the Linux, that's fine. So this is a very important thing to understand. And this is something which you don't have to go to a course or learn in depth end to end. You have to learn the basics. It's very easy. You can find a lot of tutorials on the internet to help you prepare for this OS level things. Then you have to know some kind of Windows things. Like for example, you have to know the fundamentals of Microsoft Windows Active Directory, and you have to know the fundamentals of Windows Server. So if you can know the basics of all these things, that can be better. It's not mandatory, but it can be good if you can have the basics of all these things. So if you're searching for a job role in AWS, this is mandatory. You have to have the fundamental knowledge for operating systems and virtualization. So don't confuse team. When I say virtualization, I just want you to understand the basics. Like for example, if you want to learn the services in cloud platform, if you want to work on certain kind of things in the cloud platform, like if you're a developer, if you're a security expert, if you are an operations expert, if you're a compliance expert, so in whatever cases, you have to know that this virtualization is a very important factor to understand. I'll give a simple example, team. I'll give a simple example. Let's say in the cloud computing platform, okay, in the cloud computing platform, the cloud provider is having multiple servers like this. The cloud service provider is having multiple servers like this. So when the cloud service provider is having multiple servers like this, what happens? Sometimes the virtual machines which you have in one server, the cloud service provider may move this virtual machine from one server to another automatically while you're working. In VMware, we call it as vMotion, right? So what we have to understand is when you go for any kind of things like this, these kind of knowledge of virtualization and operating system feels very important for you. That's the first thing you have to understand when you start learning for this virtual cloud computing, okay? OS and virtualization fundamentals. So just the fundamentals I'm meaning, okay? The next thing is you have to understand about having a basic understanding of networking. That is a very important thing. Before you apply for any kind of job roles or anything like that in cloud computing, it is always a best practice to learn the basics of networking. So Krish, if I'm a developer, if I'm a person who is completely onto compliance, if I'm a developer, if I'm a professional, so do I have to learn this networking concepts? But still, we have to understand that networking concepts is mandatory. Networking concepts is mandatory. But what kind of concepts? You have to know the IP addressing. You have to know the IP addressing. You have to know the basics of the devices like firewalls, like routers, switches. So you have to know the basics of these things. You have to know an idea about this networking. You have to get an idea about this networking devices and those kind of concepts, how the traffic is flowing, the packets. These concepts can be very much useful to you. Because why? Because I will show you some job roles in the upcoming slides. I will show you a lot of job roles which I searched for today morning. Okay. So what happens is when you go for these kind of things, what happens? I have seen that many people make a mistake by skipping these things, but understand that for every job role, these kind of things like IP addressing, firewalls, routers, switches, all these things are very important. So networking fundamentals form a very critical factor for going to the cloud platform. So the next thing which we have to understand is the basic programming and scripting. So that means what? When you say basic programming and scripting, what it mean by that? So it doesn't mean that you have to learn programming for this. Definitely for certain job roles, it's mandatory for you to learn programming. But what I'm telling you is generically for cloud computing, if you want to switch your career to cloud computing, it is not mandatory to learn programming or scripting languages. But you have to learn at least how to read the basic JSON, etc. JSON, the fundamentals of Python and all, it can be very much useful for you. Okay, like for example, let's say if I'm going to AWS, let's say I'm a person in AWS who is managing the compliance. I'm a person in AWS who is managing the data security. I'm a person in AWS who is managing the identity. So in any kind of things like this, you have to know how to read a JSON code. You have to know completely how to read a JSON code. Let me show you an example here. So I'll just show you an example code I have made for this. Just give me a second. See, this is an example. This is an example code I want you to understand. So here what happens is you can see that I'm having a JSON code here. This doesn't mean that you have to learn this coding completely. You don't have to learn all these things end to end, but you have to know the each and every content of this particular piece of code, like what these things will do. And that's not a big deal. You will get all this code well prepared in the cloud providers console. What you have to do is you have to just go through this job roles or so go through this code and customize it as per your requirements. So what I'm recommending is when you go for a cloud computing job role, every job role, when you go for any job role, they will ask you for basic programming and scripting knowledge. But that doesn't mean that in every case you have to write the code by yourself. You can take the code from different locations, which is given by the cloud service provider, and you can customize it as per your requirements. And it won't be a big deal for you if you are also a novice in this. Just go through the basics and you'll be fine with this. Then the fourth kind of skill is a very interesting one. This is something which I always say starting from 2020 onwards. The reason is because every job role which we see after the third quarter of 2019 is having requirement for at least one more cloud plan. Let's say, for example, if you're an expert in AWS, when you search for a job in cloud computing, they will insist that if you have a knowledge in Azure or GCP or Oracle, or if one more cloud platform knowledge you're having, that is very important. Why? Because let's say for previously what happens is when a company go to AWS, they will completely stick on to AWS. When they go to Azure, the company will stick on to Azure. But now what happens is every company you see is having a cross cloud platform. Cross cloud platform means definitely they are using multiple cloud platforms. So they will use AWS for certain purposes, they will use Azure for certain purposes, Google for certain purposes. So you have to have an in-depth knowledge of one cloud platform, plus you must have at least a basic knowledge on at least one more cloud platform. That is a very important thing which we have to understand. So these are the four main things which we have to understand if you want to start searching for a job role in cloud computing. So these are the key skills which I always say that it is better for you to understand when you go for a job role in cloud computing. So why I am telling all this in this webinar is because I have seen many people who want to get a job in AWS or job in Azure or any kind of cloud computing platforms simply end up in learning AWS or Azure. But if you can get these basics and all, your cloud journey will be much more easier and you can go step by step more effectively and easily. That's why. So now let's go to certain job roles, certain requirements I found, and I'll tell you how to apply for that. So in my previous webinars, I already told that when you search for a job role, the primary constraint people think about or people worry about is about the experience, right? Team, when you go for a job role, so I hope we have a lot of people here. So I hope all of you have a constraint. Like I hope all of you have a constraint here that Krish, do we have to basically get all the skills in the job role? Can we expect that, team? It's not like that. It is not mandatory for you to learn all the end-to-end requirements in the job role, but I'll tell you how to understand that. Let's go through certain sample job roles I found. The first, this is one job role I just basically found in the internet today morning. Just I searched for some job roles and I got this. I intentionally masked the company name to don't have a privacy issues. So you can see that this job role is for a cloud engineer on Azure or AWS. So they're expecting you to have an experience of 2 to 6 years. So this is the primary thing which we have to discuss about. When I say we have a experience requirement of 2 to 6 years or 1 to 2 years or 2 to 3 years, this is the only thing they are expecting. This is the only thing they are expecting. Understand, 90% companies, when they say that their person must have an experience from 1 to 2 or 1 to 3 years, this is what they are expecting. Hands-on knowledge. If you have the hands-on knowledge, if you want to get a job in AWS or Azure, if you have this hands-on knowledge, that is what matters. That is what something which is very important. The hands-on experience is what very important. How much more you can do the hands-on, how much more you can get hands-on, that much higher your job chance will be. Why I'm telling you this is, so if you search for the interview questions in AWS, interview questions in Azure and all in the internet, what happens is you will see a lot of questions. What is EC2? What is S3? What is Amazon? What is regions? But tell me, team, can we expect any kind of very straightforward questions like this in the interviews nowadays? And definitely nowadays, all the interviews are going online. It's not an offline things. Nowadays, all the interviews are going online. So in that case, can you expect a direct kind of questions like this? What is something? What is something? No, right? Why? Because these companies are not trying to test your theoretical knowledge. They are trying to test your, exactly, they're trying to test your skill set. Because they are trying to test your skill set, what happens is these companies, these organizations who ask you for these job roles, okay, the questions they are asking will be completely scenarios. That is something which we have to understand. For the last few years, this is what the trend is. When you go for any kind of job interviews, either in AWS or Azure or something which is not about of cloud also, what they're expecting is you to have a really good hands-on experience. So the questions they're asking will be like that. Like they will give you an example, like they will give you a scenario. Suppose we are working on cloud platform, we have an issue like this. How do I mitigate that? How do I manage that? How do I overcome the issue? So they will ask you a lot of scenarios. Once you have a hands-on experience, it will be very easy for you to crack the scenarios. So this is the primary thing, team. No companies are expecting you to have a huge experience and all. More than experience, what matters nowadays is your hands-on. How much hands-on you can get. That's a very important factor we have to understand. See, this is an example question. Yes, okay, just give me a second. It's basically for all the companies I'm seeing. Almost 99% companies I'm seeing. When you go to almost all the companies, this is the primary scenario. Okay. So first of all, let's go through this job role. First of all, see, hands-on experience with Azure VMs, hands-on experience with Azure Blob Storage, hands-on experience with Azure ML Studio. So when they say hands-on experience, what they mean by that? Is it mean that they want you to create a VM on Azure, or they want you to create a storage on Azure? No. So when they say hands-on experience in Azure VMs or Azure blobs like that, they are not expecting exactly. They are not expecting you to have a deployment level knowledge. They want you to have a knowledge on what is Azure VM, what is a Azure, how to do auto scaling on that, how to choose a region, how to troubleshoot, how to configure proper networking, how to configure proper scale set, how to configure proper availability set. Like that, they are expecting a lot of things that you can get only from the hands-on. So first of all, what we have to understand is when see, this is a very straightforward job role. Anybody who is learning the Azure 104 certification, okay, if you are a 104 certified person, this is something which you learn as a part of it. But more than that, how much you do this in a hands-on perspective, that is what matters here. See, nothing more. They are expecting that only one thing. And migration and all won't be a problem in Azure. Nowadays, the cloud service providers are making the migration more and more easier. So migration won't be a big challenge for you nowadays. So when they say strong knowledge in Azure security, it is not about security only. They are expecting a lot more things. You have to know what all kind of attacks can be there for cloud platform, what all cloud services are there to mitigate that. Like the same way, all these things they're asking is pretty straightforward, and they will give you more and more questions in a scenario based model. Got it, team? So I'll give you some more kind of job roles like this so that we can discuss. See, this is a job role which is specific to AWS Cloud. So I'm sure that definitely you will be able to know this. Definitely you're familiar with this. At least most people will be familiar with this also. See, everything is pretty straightforward, except that they're expecting some more knowledge. Like if you can have the knowledge of containers, basic knowledge of containers. If you have the Linux basics, see this Linux basics, I told you right in the first session, the basic Linux command is mandatory. So in this job role, I am sure that this company is not expecting you to have a Superman level kind of things and all. It's basically very pretty straightforward. What they're expecting you to have in this job role is only a very few things. Because from this job role itself, we know that this company is expecting only you have a skill in EC2, ECS, and monitoring. So except that, everything else they don't want. They actually want to have skills on these three things only, right? This is the whole point we have to understand, team. So what matters here is when you go for a job role like this, everything they're expecting is from the very basic level, but they will ask you scenario based questions. You must be prepared for that. Let's say, for example, working knowledge on EBS modification. Let's take an example for this. Working knowledge on AWS EBS modification. So this is a very important question. I will give you an interview question on this. I will give you a very common interview question on this. First question they will ask you is, how can I interrupt an EBS volume in AWS? So you can say, yeah, it's very simple. You can go to the AWS EC2, go to the volume and select the encryption mechanism. It's very easy. And the second question they are going to ask you is that how to encrypt your root volume. And after that, they will ask you how to make sure this root volume is more effective to more secure. Like the same way, you have to know the real-time scenarios. That is what we have to understand. So when you go for any kind of job roles like this is what they are expecting. And so where do you get all these skills from? That's a very important point. So when you're learning something, where do you get the skills from? I have seen this particular thing most people ignore, but this is where you can crack any interviews in AWS. The AWS FAQs. This is what helps you to crack a lot of interviews in my experience, to be honest. Let me show you an example here. You want to learn about let's say storage. So I'm just typing down here AWS S3 FAQs. The cloud provider is providing you a lot of questions for a particular any service. Instead of S3, you can search for anything else. You can search for EBS, you can search for EC2, you can search for anything. See, this is the best location. This is the best thing you can use to learn any kind of prepare for any kind of interviews. See, this very straightforward. So how to specify the region, what is an availability zone, what is the cost of these things. So everything you're having it, in a very pretty straightforward way in the FAQ section. The best way to prepare for AWS interviews for specific services is to go through the FAQ portion of it, the official Amazon FAQs of it. And I have seen that if you go for an interview with AWS KMS, see, this is the best thing. Nothing else matters. This is the only thing you have to prepare if you want to go for an interview on AWS Key Management System. Everything is here straightforward. Everything is here. Okay. So don't forget, team, the primary thing we have to understand is the FAQs are the best mechanisms to learn a service. So here, if you can go through the EC2 FAQs, EBS FAQs, CloudWatch FAQs and all, it can give you a lot of ideas. Plus your hands-on experience may help you crack the interview very easily. And now I'll tell you the reason, because team, before this COVID pandemic, we have seen that when you go for a company, the expectations they are having in the JD, the job description, will be very much higher. But now every company is going pretty straightforward. The requirements they are giving in any kind of job roles like this are much more simple. What you have to only do is you have to, just understand those things only. And it is not mandatory for you to have everything. So let's say, for example, team, just think about, just tell me what you feel on this. If I am applying for this job role, okay, if I'm applying for this job role, but I am not aware of this. See, Docker and all you can learn in a single day. So if I am not aware of this particular thing, basic working knowledge on Bamboo CI tool, can I apply for this team? If I don't have that skill, is it possible for me to apply for this job role? 100% yes, right? It's 100% yes. You can definitely apply for this job role. But before going to the interview, just get an idea about what is this. That's enough. Just read about that. Except that you don't have to do anything else. What you have to do is just to understand this thing. And see, once if you have all the other skills in pocket very clearly, they don't even think about this. Okay, they will give you time to learn this. It's very easy. Okay. So like this, any job interviews can be cracked very easily. But this is the mistake most people are making. Be prepared with these things. First of all, be prepared with these things. This is the primary thing you have to get prepared about. The second thing is understand the JD very clearly. Understand the job description very clearly. Third thing, get the additional skills. Like for example, let's say if they want to have the Docker skill, Docker is something which you can learn in a day or two maximum. It won't be a big deal. It's a very simple thing. So just know these things. It's very important for you. I'll definitely tell you the specific cloud skills in a different kind of job roles, but I'm just going to the basic now. Another job role. See, this is something which is completely for experienced people. They're expecting 8 to 10 years experience. So for this kind of job role, it is mandatory for you to have experience. But if you have 5 years experience or plus, it will be okay, because they are expecting a person who is having these skill set. And this is something which you can get very easily. It's not a big deal. Okay, this is something which I want to tell you. AWS Cloud Security Engineer. I'll tell you the reason I am just trying to tell you this. So Krish, if I am going for a AWS or cloud security job role, what all skills I have to get? If you are going for a cloud security job role in AWS or any kind of cloud platform, the first thing is you have to have a very good background on security. Like you have to know the knowledge level, at least in the level of CEH or Security Plus or things like that. You have to know the knowledge, or you have to acquire the knowledge at least in the level of CEH or Security Plus. Like you have to understand what is pen testing, what are the different kind of other kind of attacks we can happen, what are the security issues. It is mandatory for you to learn the basic security concepts. That is the first thing. And you have to know how these security concepts apply to the cloud platform. And then specific cloud security services. This is something which is primarily there for everything. And now there is one thing which we have to stress more and more effectively, that for the last few years, I have seen that the number of job roles in cloud security is increasing very much. Why? Because when I started my career in cloud computing, it was like there is no specific job role for cloud security. But now what happens is, I have seen that for the last 3 to 4 years, there is a lot of specific, precise job roles coming in cloud security, like pen testers, cloud security architects, cloud data security experts. Like that, we are getting a lot of job roles in the market now. So it's very important for you to prepare for that. I'll tell you what all skills you have to get specifically for everything. See, this is another job role. You can just basically go through this. All these skills you can get very easily by learning the basics and all. Like for example, let's say by going through all these things, everything is there in the Amazon documentations. Once you get an understanding of these things, it will be very easy to crack. But you have to do it. If you want to know what all issues can be there, like for example, let's say you know what is a VPC, but when you implement VPC in a real-time scenario, you will know what all issues can come in picture. You have to know peering, but when you do peering, you have to know what all issues can occur, how to do it securely. Like the same way, how much you practice more and more and more, that much you can get the skills. So now, more than this cloud job roles, I want to tell you something more. Like I want to tell you about the certain specific job roles in cloud platform. let's assume that. Okay, I'm preparing for a AWS security job role. Okay, so certification definitely do matters. Basically, every company start the filtering by verifying the certification. That's a very important thing. More than certification, the next thing, the first thing every company will look into, as we discuss, security background is mandatory, or security background or security knowledge is mandatory. This is mandatory. This you can get in a 3 to 4 months of time without any hassle. It's a very important thing. The second thing is you have to know all the security aspects in AWS. You have to know in depth all the security aspects of the cloud platform you are searching for. Like for example, let's say if I'm going to AWS, I have to know how to secure my data. I have to know how to secure my log files. I have to know how to do a proper monitoring. I have to know how to do a proper vulnerability assessment. So these things are very important. The third thing you have to know for going for an AWS security job role is you have to know about the CAS. This is an optional, but this is very important. CASB solutions, Cloud Access Security Broker solutions, and some kind of SIEM solutions. So these skills are very important, CASBs and SIEM solutions. So you don't have to basically go for everything separately and learn. These things you can self-learn. Just Google it and you'll be able to learn this very effectively. Then very strong, very in-depth knowledge on identity and access management. I have seen in every AWS interviews, this is the primary thing that everybody is expecting. Thorough knowledge in the identity and access management, like managing users, how to make sure you have a proper identity management, how to enable federation, how to integrate your user management with the existing things, how to manage it securely, how to monitor the user's activity. Like this is a very important skill everybody's expecting. Then the next thing they are expecting is basically the scripting skills. As we discussed, it is not something which you have to learn completely, but you have to get the basics. And I told you how to get the basics. It's very easy. And one more thing, encryption. This is something which every companies expect from you very much. Except these things, everything else you can learn once you're in the job profile. This is the primary things I am seeing in every job role. When you go to any kind of cloud security job role, especially AWS security job roles, these things are there in every kind of job descriptions or skill set I'm seeing in everything. Okay, that's it. The next thing is, let's say if you're applying for a DevOps job role, this is a very important thing, DevOps job role, cloud DevOps job role. So team, when you say DevOps, see, I got it from internet, from a website, but I found it very interesting. The periodic table of the DevOps tools in the market now. See, you have a lot of things. So Krish, do I have to learn all these things if I want to get a job in DevOps? First of all, we have to understand that DevOps is not tools. DevOps is not at all the tools. DevOps is a part of the enterprise management strategy. It's a culture. It's an enterprise management strategy like the Agile. It's a different part of Agile, that's all. You have to learn what is DevOps first. First thing you have to learn before going to cloud DevOps, you have to learn what is DevOps. So these tools you see here, like for example, Docker, Sonax or Kubernetes or CloudFormation or Harness or Veracode or SonarQube, all these things you see here is catalyzing this DevOps process, that's all. These are something which will help us to do this DevOps more effectively. But these tools are not the DevOps. I have seen many people confuse you, many organizations, many people confuse you by saying that when you say DevOps, they will say a lot of tooling. Even me also, when I talk about DevOps, okay, I will say Docker, Git, Jenkins, Ansible, Chef. I also say that. But understand that DevOps is not the tools. But do definitely we also say that okay, DevOps is tools. So how do I have to learn all these tools? It is not possible for us to learn every tool, and by then that won't give you any value. So first of all, what kind of DevOps job role you're looking for? Are you looking for containerization? Are you looking for the complete CI/CD process? Are you looking for code management? So what exactly is the requirement? Like, are you looking for automation? Like for example, let's say, are you looking for automate cloud this scripting and automation? Go for these tools. Are you looking for let's say container platforms? Go for these tools, Docker, Kubernetes, those kind of things. So like the same way, what kind of job role you're expecting? In the DevOps also, we have a lot of job role. Go specifically learn that tools, and that is what we have to understand. So, and how it can be on cloud platform. Let's say, for example, if I want to integrate Chef on AWS, it's by default there in AWS. The Chef is there in AWS by default. But once you know Chef in the on-premises, you will be able to know how it works in the DevOps part. Like for example, let's say I know what is Docker, but how I can deploy Docker in the cloud platform is not a big deal. If you know Docker, Nothing changes. The same thing only in cloud platform. Just the cloud provider will give you some automation process. That's all. So understand that particular thing. Like the same way, if you're looking for a cloud monitoring expert, go for those kind of tools. So it's specifically about what job role you're looking for. But definitely for security things, this is the things I gave you is what particulars. Okay, that's what we have to understand. And when you go, as we discussed, team, don't forget, when you go for any kind of cloud interviews, in my personal experience, when you go, even if I am the interviewer or if I am the candidate, what we have to expect is that more real-time questions. I'll give an example. Let's say, for example, now if I ask you, team, how many people know Docker? At least 2 or 3 people will say, Krish, I know this, I know that. But how many people know that what all tools are there in the market to manage Docker using a GUI? When I ask you AWS, definitely most of the people know that. But what all tools are there to implement data security in AWS? Like the same way, how much more you can get the hands-on part, how much more you can read, how much more you can get the skills on these kind of specific things, it will be more easy for you to get job. So certification is something which we have to understand now. As we discussed, when you say the word certification, okay, certification, I always say in any kind of webinars, certification is like getting your driving license. That doesn't mean that you know how to drive and you are an expert in driving. So certification is just the initial point only. That is something which is a primary thing for there's an entry point. Like for example, let's say if you want to start your career in cloud computing, if you want to get into a job profile, if you have a certification, they will give you a bit priority. That's all. Except that every company is expecting you to have a skill set, not the certification. That is a very important we understand, team. So this is what everybody is expecting, your skill set. Except that you're not have, so certification is something which is an entry point or which can help you to prove the skill more effectively. But other than that, what matters is your skill set, and you can get your skill set very easily, very effectively by doing more and more hands-on. So Krish, where can I get the hands-on? That's a very important thing. One more question which I'm facing from all the people is that first one. So Krish, when I go to a job role, okay, when I go to a job role, they are asking me for projects I have done or things I have implemented. This is something most people ask me. So Krish, they are asking me for some projects I have done or things I have implemented. This is the next challenge faced by all the candidates. So when you go for AWS training, anywhere, what you learn EC2, you learn S3, you learn ECS, you learn EKS, you learn EBS, you learn RDS, you learn all these things, but you have to learn how to integrate all these things to a working entity, a complete end-to-end project. How to do that? You can get a lot of projects officially from the AWS websites itself. That is my recommendation. You can get a lot of projects. If you search for AWS projects in the Google, you will get hundreds of thousands of projects you'll get with the project diagram and the implementation steps you can get in the website. Just go through that, how to do it step by step, and that is what exactly it's enough. Okay, so team, I'm just answering one question asked by one of the candidates. How to manage things when someone is planning to move from a data center engineer to a cloud profile? The same thing, you already have a data center background. That's a very, very important skill. Plus, learn those things I gave you in the initial thing. This is what you have to learn additionally, or this is what you have to ensure you know. This is more than enough. You'll be able to move. Even I have just one more person asked me last time. So Krish, let's say for example, what if I want to get a job directly in Amazon itself? Let me just show you an example. So I'm just opening just a Google window here. I'm just searching officially in the Amazon website for my job, AWS job rules. See, there also they are showing you the complete, the same thing I just gave you now. See this? Not this one, just give me a second. I just saw it here somewhere. Careers. See this? When you search for various job roles, let me just show you that. You search for what kind of job you want. Let's say, for example, if I want to get a job as support engineer, example, it's a very simple thing. See, they're giving you a lot of things: security operations engineer, data center. So like this, you have a lot of things. Let's assume that they want you to have a job knowledge, cloud support engineer, Linux. Just open this job role, and you will see that they only want you to know the basics. See this? They only want you to know the basics. See this? Do you feel anything more challenging here? Nothing. They only want to know the basics, just exposure. So it's pretty easy for you to end up in any job. The only thing is So if you are a person who is working in a security background, if you are a person from a data center background, if you are a person from development background, whatever it is, the change which can happen is when you move to cloud platform, you have to know these things as a prerequisites. Plus, you have to know the end-to-end cloud process, then things specific to your job role you're searching for. And these can be done in a very short period of time. You don't have to wait for a long time to do all these things. See, tomorrow, let's say, for example, if I'm a person who is searching for a job role, I can go through certain things, interview, job descriptions and all, and in that I can see what all things they are expecting from me. If you just work for some time, you will be able to find that. See, I can show you some real-time projects. Those people who know AWS, I am sure that this can be done. I'll just show you a picture here, team. If you can basically be confident on this, say this is a very simple project I'm showing you, okay? A simple project I'm trying to show you. See that I'm having a multiple servers, and see, it's a very simple thing. Once you know EC2, once you know RDS, you'll be able to do this. Like, do more and more projects like this, you can get more and more exposure and hands-on. And one more thing, just last thing I want to tell you is, team, I have seen many people who ask me, Krish, is I just want to pass the exam. Exam passing is very easy, but more than as exam passing, what matters is completely about the skill set you have to grab. Okay, that's the whole thing. So exams are designed to, specifically boost the product, but what we have to understand for a job profile is, now in every company, every organization, in any part of the world you go, they will test your real-time skills. And even I have seen that in the latest new scenarios, and what happens is, right, the companies will give you a sample of test environment. You have to deploy that thing in the real time there to showcase your skills. And I feel like it's more easy. Okay, that's it. So team, that's it, team. That's all about the session. So thank you so much, team. It was a nice time talking to all of you. Thank you so much. Bye.